Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. My name is Devin, and I'm here to discuss the article The Team That Wasn't by Susie Wetlaufer for my IT 503 team building class. So today I'm going to start with a quick summary of the article, and then we're going to discuss the problems faced by the team members and the team leader, along with a few possible suggestions for the team leader, and then wrap it up with a quick conclusion. This article begins with a small insight of the team leader, Eric. He's a dedicated, enthusiastic, hard worker who has had experience managing teams with great success. Eric has just recently been hired with one responsibility. He is to put together a team of the top people at FireArt, one from each division, and come up with a comprehensive plan for the company's strategic realignment. He needs to be up, running, and winning within 6 months. The company had recently been declining in sales, and so the CEO has hired Eric to figure out a way to fix this, and he has to do this with this team. Now, Eric was worried about the dynamics of the team from the very beginning, and his worries were brought to life during the first meeting, and they have been continuing since then. So we're going to go through a couple of the key characters just so we can know who's involved. Now, just so you know, if you haven't read the article yet, you may want to do that before continuing with this presentation. So first is Eric Holt, and some key characteristics of him is that he's the team leader. He was recently hired at FireArt to get the team going, and he has experience as vice president at a consulting firm in New York. And he is currently having trouble leading the team discussions due to a few difficult situations within the team dynamics here at FireArt. Now, the next person is Randy Lauterbach. He is an up-and-coming marketing director at FireArt. He's very charismatic and he's overall knowledgeable, but he doesn't seem to believe in teamwork and teams, and he's causing a large amount of unrest in the current team that Eric is leading. The next person is Jack Derry. He's the CEO. He trusts that Randy is the most successful employee at FireArt, basically, is what he explains. He's given Eric 6 months to accomplish the task, and he is not a supportive sponsor for the team and for Eric. He is not someone that Eric can come to for questions. He is very invested in Randy, and Randy is the difficulty within the team, so it's hard for Eric to come talk to him. Now, a few other key characters are Ray, Maureen, and Carl. They are fellow directors and fellow team members, and in the article, it explains a little bit of dynamics between these three people and Randy and Eric. So their names are important to remember. Now, as you can see, Eric has his hands full with this team. There are many different characteristics and talents on the team, but all these pieces don't seem to be working together. In the article, the author explains that Eric knows that successful groups are part art and part science. So that's why he was preparing for the first meeting with some structure and some guidelines. And however, it seems that Eric's missing a little bit of his formula that he comes up with. He's missing the art, and specifically the art of communication within the group. He ends up having all this structure and guidelines, but he's not able to follow through with them because in the first meeting, everything goes downhill. And from there on, since he wasn't able to develop the team charter and the team common goals and stuff like that, he is missing a key factor in the group, and the dynamics are mixed matched and unable to be successful. There's 3 main dilemmas that stuck out to me in this article. One is that there's no clear and common goal. Eric has based his ideas on the words of the CEO to create a comprehensive plan for the company's strategic alignment. But do the other people in the team know this plan? Are they aware? Does that mean anything to them? If they don't understand the goal and it's not clear to them, what will make them focus? What is going to be the good that comes out of the team? If they don't understand and aren't committed to this, then there's no way there will be a successful end to this team. So the second one is that there's no team rules and roles, that they haven't been developed and people are not sure how to interact with each other. From the very beginning, Eric has good intentions to set out expectations and rules, as we've mentioned before, but he never seems to get the chance. There's always something else that comes up, or someone interrupts him, or he's just not able to lead the team discussion in the way that he should. And so the fact that none of the team members are on the same page when it comes to the appropriate ways to discuss topics or deal with conflict or even work towards a goal, this is a huge hindrance in the success of the team. And then the third dilemma is that the team is interested in consensus rather than in just accomplishing the task. The team needs to focus on the goals of the team rather than worrying about what other people's feelings are and making sure everyone agrees. The argument at the end of the article, there is a lot of emotion and feelings in it, and people need to realize that they don't have to be friends. They don't have to agree. They just have to accomplish the task. And you don't see this in this team. They're not understanding that the company is in a dire situation and they need to work together to fix it, not be friends and sing Kumbaya. So this is a big problem because they're not only are they not working towards their goals, but they don't know how to. They don't know how to accomplish it rather than come to an agreement. They're worried about their feelings. Solutions. After looking at the dilemmas that stuck out, my solutions include reviewing the team's directions, starting over with a new structure, new guidelines, and addressing the Randy issue, which may lead to some different team dynamics. So, reviewing the team's direction. Eric needs to do this. He needs to review the team's direction. And this includes looking at the current structure and looking at his own leadership skills. Because once he understands these factors, he can move on to the next step. These two factors, they align with the success of the team. If he doesn't understand what skills he needs, how can he expect the other members to have the skills necessary? Now, in the article, it does explain that Eric took Jack's words of taking the top members and top employees of each division as taking the directors of each division. Now, this may not have necessarily been the best route. He could have instead looked at different skill sets of employees within the divisions rather than going straight for the top. It's not always about taking the directors. Sometimes you can get a great employee that's maybe just starting out and they have fresh ideas, just like Eric does, but are new to the company. And this may have been a better route. So looking at this, looking at the current structure and looking at his skills versus the skills in the team, maybe that would help adjust some of the dilemmas that are in the team. Now, Eric had it right at the end of the article during the big blowout discussion that he said, let's start over. This would be a good idea. It would allow people to take a breather, have Eric reassess everything and look at the dynamics, and he would be able to get the team under a new structure and to understand what they need in order to succeed. Like I said earlier, get a team charter, get some clear and common goals that everybody can be committed to. It's a big turning point when he said, let's start over. This would be the perfect time to fix everything and deal with the conflict and the communication and figuring out guidelines on how to deal with that within the team, so everybody knows their place, everybody knows how to accomplish the big goals. Seeing the Randy issue. This is the major step that needs to take place. And Eric needs to talk one-on-one with Randy. If Eric is able to discuss with Randy what he truly feels and decide if maybe Randy should not be part of the team, then this may in the end benefit the team. Because if Randy does not want to be involved in the team, then it's going to hurt the end goal and won't allow people to actually come up with ideas when they know someone's going to shoot them down or someone's going to interrupt them. But if Randy does decide he wants to be on the team, then Eric might need to look at some different ways of breaking up the team, since he does understand Randy's feelings about teamwork. Maybe they can form small working groups within the team and have individual leaders to help with the fact that some people don't necessarily agree with teams, and this would give the chance for both. It would be a happy medium because sometimes the skill sets and characteristics of people in the team are not meant for teamwork. They are meant for individual work or working groups where they can do their own thing but still accomplish the end goal. Either way, talking with Randy is one of the ways that can help fix the disconnect within the entire team. So overall, this situation can still be fixed. There have been some issues. There have been a lot of feelings and people hurt in the previous meetings, but they still have time. They have time to meet the goals. But it is a short amount of time. So they have a lot of adjustments to make in order to succeed, but it is possible. Eric just has to follow through with some of his ideas. He needs to talk to the people in the team. He needs to reassess and start over. But they can succeed. So I just want to thank you for your time today, for listening to me. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. My email is on the bottom of this slide, robinsdm199@potsdam.edu. Thank you. Have a good night.